sometimes you bet red and it comes up black. It just does. It's the luck of the draw. You got in it, spinning to win, but you busted out. It can happen. I'm not sure. I didn't peruse the lyrics. I haven't done nothing but push record. But we've listened to enough Aesop that if I read this in the, on the back of the album as I was sitting there, sitting there listening to an album is still a fantasy scenario. The record player, you'd have to watch the, I think it was in the Upchurch reaction. There is I feel bad for people who listen to stuff on their phones because I think a lot of that low end is missing. I think I had a situation come up where I heard the same song in a reaction on the headphones, which are nothing special, but they sound okay. On a phone and on my TV. And the only place the song sounded fantastic was in the headphones. It was average on the other two locations. And I thought about it for a bit, and I was ranting a little bit about it. I think we crap out more often than not and don't get the full effect of the music because we're too busy and we're okay with that half-ass version that comes out of our phone. Now, no, you don't take it personally if you're shaking your phone and cursing me because that's where you're listening to me. It's life. I get it. It happens. But sometimes you're missing some low end. Sometimes you're missing some fullness that the song really intended you to hear. And I was just thinking, man, I kind of wish I could spin to win and turn that into a thumping stereo system and somehow capture that experience, the difference. Bring someone who's been listening to music on their phone for years, right? And sit them down in a just solid. I'm not talking about just pissing money away, right? I'm not talking about treating it like I won the lottery. I just come up winner once, so I built myself a nice, home stereo that sounds kick-ass with, a few of the bells and whistles you need. I know when I sold stereos, I didn't try to sell anybody the most expensive one, even though that was good for the house and, someone's bottom line. I always told them, I said, if you shop in the middle of the product line, all of the functionality you really would want, none of that entry-level simplicity, and not so many, bells and whistles you don't know what to do with them. You're going to save a few bucks by not flexing your wallet on a stereo you can't get to perform anyways. And you'll be happy right here in the middle, and it'll sound sweet. I sold a shit ton of stereos with that pitch. I am not lying to you. It was reasonable. It was a reasonable pitch. And I sold a lot of home stereos when they were still dying out. So I miss those days a lot. I can't imagine what this experience would be like if everything was literally listening to, the pounding system from my youth. Be cool. That'd be spinning to win. Now, of course, I need a time machine for any of that time ship. None of that's going to happen. But I highly recommend checking out a good sound system once just to see what your favorite song sounds like there versus your phone. This has been a public service announcement from Rollen Green and Reactions, Rants, and Rabbit Holes. Now on to our regularly scheduled Aesop Rock reaction already in progress. Is that beat really an exclamation point to what I'm ranting about? Because I gotta believe that there is a lot of stuff going on, and just a lot of sounds going on layered to create the. Okay. Now, does that come out tinny to you, or is that pop? Because it don't sound too bad. It actually sounds pretty cool in the headphones. Not like water drops, but cool. You catch all that, right? You getting that bass line in the background? You hearing that? That fucking fat bass beat? That fat drum? Okay, now I'm being a dick. Sorry.
In confession by the morning, tenants going down the tubes. People tossing out their dogmas after pausing all his moves. The walk is not a mathematics that is taught in schools. The wave is not as innocent as bopping to your favorites. When you opt in as a comic on the dais, I'm saying, when you lock in as a tile in a mosaic, any play as if your molecules can take it. My molecules are holding, I hear you, but I'm picturing my happy place. Somewhere in the smoke and mirrors, Holy Spirit activate. Act a fool or acclimate, a rocket give an actual fuck. The universe will catch up and recalibrate. That's what's up. Had to AWOL off the Wayfair. It was that or blow his top and drop you all at doggy daycare. I bet I find the crystal and return before you fizzle on the way there. Crowdfunding train fare, yo. I'm in the wind. I show up on a whim. I whip around the woods. I rattle every limb. I dip into the city. I agitate the Sims. I crash into the house. Maybe take it for a spin.
Ravenous, big supporter of this channel. I'm sure others. I can only go with my own reflections. And I have a lot of actual comments and reflections to get to. But we started the process, so I'm kind of half in the middle, half-ass. I think, personally, it feels to me the same subject in the most creative way, but the same subject is still being expressed to us. And that is that the artist himself is not cut from the same fabric. It does not fit into the mold. It does not matter if it's the first album or the 100th album. I'm pretty sure one of the core messages is, I'm not you. You're not going to get what you expected. It's probably going to be damn good, but it don't fit that mold. It's not that trope we were talking about the other day. Endlessly repeatable action that people gobble up like a TV dinner. Nah, it's different. And it comes from these places. And I'm pretty sure I was reflecting on just the crowdfunding bus fare. Now that's an interesting, I don't care. But I'm just saying that really sets the stage, that line alone. We're not going to dig into lyrics much deeper than that because, I'm going to go buy groceries for my dad. As I said, I came up snake eyes, but we're going with a roulette, not craps metaphor. What I did a meter for? To lose all my money.
Agitate the Sims. I crash into the house. Maybe
see there, and then he comes in just a little bit to agitate the normies. The endless supply, the rank and file, the Sims, the simulations of life, waiting to be disrupted.
I show up on a whim. I whip around the woods. I rattle every limb. I dip into the city. I agitate the Sims. I crash into the house. Maybe take it for a spin.
It's cool.
The on air on. I'm instantly ejected from my office chair to haul off and punch a couple cars. Hey, I'm walking here. Office square with snow tires on its chest piece and eyeglasses sticking.
That's funny because that one keeps coming up as trivia, right? I follow a bunch of movie channels, and they just love to point out that I'm walking here, Midnight Cowboy, Dustin Hoffman. That was not that was a errant driver crashing the set, and they kept it, I guess. There, I've done what all those channels wanted to get paid for, and I gave that one to you for free. I hear it's the same as Greenland's icy and Iceland's green, but sometimes that's all you got.
His chair to haul off and punch a couple cards. Say I'm walking here. Office square with snow tires on its chest piece. And eyeglasses sticking up to start a fire next week. Pour a million, not some arbitrary park and ride to get your party parted from them party size story. Sorry. I know you plan for satin black and stark white. The truth is harvested in areas that marbleize. Zero time for the bullshit. He said eating sushi, closing deals at a full sprint. The dotted line wolf print, dollar sign eyeballs. Ever mismatched with other slops?
Oh, that seemed like a good line. Very telling, I think. I'm not sure, but as like I'm not that as I'm doing that exact thing. Eating sushi and closing deals, but I'm not that person. Zero time for the bullshit, he said, eating sushi, closing deals at full sprint. Yeah, that's awesome line. I mean, just that alone, right? That's the indictment of the hypocrisy of, I'd have to go back and figure out, because I think, as always, I think that's the thing, Ravenous. I think there's self-reflective bars, him talking about himself, usually where he's at, and what he's dealing with. I mean, isn't it really just slices of regular day life put so creatively that it's just the best shit ever? I mean, you wax poetically all you want, but in the end, isn't this dude living his life telling us about it super creatively because that's the way he sees it? I'm not trying to break it down to, to baseline, but I mean, everything that he is creates these projects, this content, and all of them have that kind of same. There's definitely you do not mistake it for something else, really. Now I'm sure there's others who could throw me a pile of stuff that's similar, and I'm sure it's more of that. And I don't think this is a thing, but more like this cerebral hip hop type. I think exists all over the place. So never mind. I'm not saying it's 100% unique, but I think his lyrical style might be. Because because we were just there, right? We were just on float, and I did looking at the lyrical content there, looking at the lyrical content here, right? It's dude's been telling the most interesting story his whole career, and it's just for us to decipher it, I'm sure that's a lot easier for others. That's okay. Maybe if I never know it good enough, I won't ever lose the childlike wonder it creates. Because that part's no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that's cool. Oh, I wish I said that way. Oh, I'm going to say that way. You know what I mean? It's this package of endorphins that get just shooting around, I guess. It's like, wow, that feels cool. And I just heard a song. It happens in all kinds of places. It's not specific to this artist. But it happens a lot with this artist, which is cool. And I think one of the draws that keeps bringing me back, even though I might not really know what I'm talking about, I sure like faking it. Because there's moments like that where you get something where you realize, hey, that's a nice way of expressing hypocrisy, or as an interesting way of putting that. It's cool. It's very cool.
Seen real time for the bullshit. He said eating sushi, closing deals at a full sprint. The dotted line wolf print, dollar sign eyeballs. Ever mismatched with other slot machine icons. Wire walker, the watcher over your diorama. Die bomber, divide, conquer, and find water. Night crawler, I'm eye-poppingly not right. Never mind what's in the pot pie, yo, I'm in the wind. I show up on a whim. I whip around the woods. I rattle every limb. I dip into the city. I agitate the Sims. I crash into the house. Maybe take it for a spin.
Oh yeah, it's totally. I disagree with my honey bunny in the other room, who and doesn't just is not a fan, right? She just doesn't, and I'm like I'm singing along already. It happens in the kitchen. I just I'm grateful I took to it. And Ravenous, as much as I appreciate all your contributions, comments, and everything, always goes back to Mike Henry throwing this stuff at me year one. That's the thing. Early on, someone turned me on to this artist. Just because I was looking forward to, I look forward to the more interesting experience, even if it makes me look like an idiot. As always, it turns out you don't tuck me in at night. What do I care what you think? I don't care if I'm an idiot. I'm having a fucking good time doing it. That's it. You know what I mean? I enjoy the process.
When he cut his palm and bleed on the altar, things change. Lights blinking, earth shaking, people taking sick days. Ghosts in the graveyard, ring the bell 6 ways. Coffin splinters situated underneath the fingernails. Sail searching for the holy grail as zingers. The mingus of digs, the shrink wizards in the interns. Kingdoms in the cinders, entire ecosystems in the digits. Dust to dust, it's just business. Trust, the stick and move, rock and strafe. I'm in the spot like a cardboard box with legs. Pop up, shock and dismay. Pop down, just a prop that cannot be explained. It's a problem. The oddly off course nor'easter playing possum wakes and orders up a 12-egg omelet. Light shooting out from under the door. One thing before you fetch whatever's tucked in the drawer. I'm in the wind. I show up.
I really like them bars there. I think, man, I hope I can remember. Because I'd want to go back, right? I'd want to see if I understood where we got to. Because, 2 lines don't mean I get anything. But, man, with that one line, the sushi line, but then this seems like a huge set of bars for maybe weirdly selling out. I don't know. I mean, it just that cut the palm that like, hey, I'm willingly gonna go. I'm committing to this thing. I'm gonna spill some blood, see what happens. I need to what? Okay. I don't know. But then the way it I really like that last set of bars there. They really made it a cool. I think that was an enjoyable image in my head.
Splinters situated underneath the fingernail. Bell 6 ways. Cough and bleed on the altar. When he cut his palm and bleed on the altar, things change. Lights blinking, earth shaking, people taking sick days. Ghosts in the graveyard, ring the bell 6 ways. Coffin splinters situated underneath the fingernails. Sail searching for the holy grail as zingers. The mingus of digs, the shrink wizards in it.
So then, because I thought I heard something earlier about maybe, not a stand-up, but maybe. I'd have to get back to oh yeah, when you opt in as a comic on the dais. See, I think there's man, yeah. This is like could it be about trying to get into being a stand-up comedian? Well, I have no idea. I'm guessing. I bet those 2 lines, you know what I mean? Man, I don't know. but from the beginning all the way to the end, and then maybe the selling out, the selling out to get there. I don't know. That's cool though. I really do like. I think I like this track a lot.
When he cut his palm and bleed on the altar, things change. Lights blinking, earth shaking, people taking sick days. Ghosts in the graveyard, ring the bell 6 ways. Coffin splinters situated underneath the fingernails. Sail searching for the holy grail of zingers. The mingus of digs, the shrink wizards and the interns. Kingdoms in the cinders, entire ecosystems in the digits. Dust to dust, it's just business. Trust, the stick and move, rock and strafe. I'm in the spot like a cardboard box with legs. Pop up, shock and dismay. Pop down, just a prop that cannot be explained. It's a problem. The oddly off course nor'easter playing possum wakes.
Weirdly enough, yeah, it feels like I don't know.
And orders up a 12-egg omelet. Light shooting out from under the door. One thing before you fetch whatever's tucked in the drawer. I'm in the wind. I show up on a whim. I whip around the woods. I rattle every limb. I dip into the city. I agitate the Sims. I crash into the house. Maybe take it for a spin.
So yeah. Then that last line, the light shooting out from under his door, one thing before you fetch whatever's tucked in the drawer, makes me think of the what's in the case, Pulp Fiction, light, go, the what is it? Who knows? It's better that you don't have an answer. But whatever it is created this scenario that is in those bars kind of situation. Nah, the whole thing's getting filtered through like a movie right now, I guess. I think that might be one of the biggest problems is sometimes the song is probably just about a simple idea expanded. And I'm always looking for how is it, how is it all acted out movie wise? Could that be a achievable? I don't know. But I think that's the deal. I think that's what I think. Spin to win. All my bullshit aside, I think that was really good. Heavily interrupted. I would really go down in the description, take the link to the original, and listen to it uninterrupted. I'm sure it's much better that way. Aesop Rock off of that Messy album. It's a mess. It's a mess. I heard it's a mess there too. Yeah. All right. I had to go take care of the old man. We'll be back in the morning with comments, getting back onto the comment thing. I'd like to do comments most every day, but my dad called me at like 9 o'clock last night. He's like, hey, I need groceries. And I'm like, hey, why can't your other son? Never mind. You can go check out the rant for that complaint. I like I said, snake eyes. Later.